Am I wrong for leaving everyone in the past who let me be accused of a crime I didn't commit? I remember the moment my world fell apart. The knock on the door came late, too late for good news. I was still half asleep when I opened it, groggy and disoriented. The officers barely gave me time to register what was happening before they grabbed my wrists, cold metal snapping around them. My mother screamed from the kitchen. My father stood frozen in the hallway, his face pale as ash. "You're under arrest for the murder of James Carter." James Carter, my best friend since childhood. My stomach lurched. I couldn't speak, couldn't think. The room tilted as they read me my rights. The words blurred together, but I remember the look in my mother's eyes. She believed them. I tried to tell them I was innocent, that I hadn't seen James in weeks, that this had to be some kind of mistake. But mistakes don't end with you sitting in a jail cell, waiting for the world to decide what kind of monster you are. The trial was swift. The prosecution painted me as a jealous friend, resentful of James's success. They had evidence, fabricated, twisted, but convincing enough. A bloody knife found near my apartment complex. Cell phone records manipulated to place me near the crime scene. Witnesses whose testimonies changed just enough to fit their story. The jury never looked at me. My family never showed up. When the verdict came, my heart shattered in my chest. Guilty. I spent 5 years in a cell, staring at the same cracked ceiling, replaying the last time I saw James, wondering who had done this to him, to me, wondering if he had called out for me in his last moments, thinking I would come to save him. Then one day, the door to my cell opened. "New evidence," the guard muttered. "You're free to go." Just like that. As if 5 years of my life hadn't been stolen, as if my name hadn't been dragged through the mud, as if my family hadn't abandoned me. I walked out of that prison with nothing. No home, no friends, no one waiting for me. Just a newspaper headline. Falsely accused man exonerated after years behind bars. I thought maybe, just maybe my parents would call. That they would come running, tell me they were sorry, that they had never stopped believing in me. The call never came. I moved to a new city, changed my name, and started over. It wasn't easy. The world outside was just another kind of prison, one where the bars were invisible but just as confining. People still whispered when they recognized my face. Job applications mysteriously vanished after background checks. Trust was a currency I no longer possessed, but I built a life anyway. Found a steady job, made new friends, people who didn't know my past. I even found love again, something I thought would be impossible. For the first time in years, I felt free. Then the messages started. First, an email from my mother. Short, hesitant. "We miss you. Can we talk?" Then my father, a voice message filled with awkward pauses. Old friends reached out, some apologetic, some acting as if nothing had happened. Even my childhood sweetheart, the one who had testified that I was capable of violence, sent a long-winded apology, begging to see me again. I should have felt something. Relief, joy, even anger. But all I felt was exhaustion. Where were they when I needed them? When I begged for someone to believe me? When I sat in that cold cell, abandoned and alone? Now that I had carved out something new, something mine, they wanted back in. I stared at my phone, my finger hovering over the delete button. Some ghosts are better left in the past. Like and follow for more daily content.